Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Changing a Wheel in a Mirage. We are going to be putting in an OMP steering wheel in retrospect of getting rid of the stock, very nice wheel that it does have, but the OMP race wheel will kind of help clean up the interior and go for that race-inspired kind of build theme that we're going with this car. We are just going to go over pretty much all the steps on changing it out, and it doesn't seem like anybody has ever done one yet, or that we have been able to find, so we are going to go through and you'll follow along with us as we, it'll be a learning process for the both of us, so we're going to get on trying to figure out how to get the airbag off, and then we will figure out all the wiring for the steering wheel controls into the clock spring, and then work on getting the wheel pulled off and check the adapter to see if it fits on the hub spline. So that is where we're starting.
Alright, Nathan, what did you find?
Actually, if you want to hand me the phone, and I'll show up close.
Alright, guys, we're actually going to go live here. There you go, sir.
Alrighty. We did get the airbag off. We found out, after fighting with it, that it was pretty simple, really. There are these tabs here. Turn the light off so it's not blinding us. But get to focus. This tab, there's a respective tab on the other side right here. They both hook. One is there, and then there's one on the bottom right down here. And the tab is on the bottom of the airbag as well. But when it is in, and I'll demonstrate, there's actually two holes, one on either side. You can see the screwdriver. Reach in through the side, press that. It releases that clip. Bring it over to the other side. Find my hole. And then the same there. It will reach in, disconnect your clip. And then the bottom, the same thing. You can actually see it would push on the little tab down there. And that is how you release the airbag on one of these.
If you want to show them how to disconnect the harness, I can actually probably just hold it here while you do it. Alright, everybody, we're going to actually disconnect the airbag harness.
And they say
right now.
Turn your battery off, or disconnect your battery for quite a while before you actually disconnect these, just to prevent detonating the airbag, which it's been disconnected probably about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, she's been disconnected a little while, so now essentially, yep, we are just unhooking the airbag so we can get it out of the way, so we can actually take off the main steering wheel nut to get the stock wheel out of place. Now obviously, if you guys are doing this modification to your Mirage, you quite obviously are losing your factory airbag.
I gotta figure out how these clips operate.
Yeah, they do look pretty funky.
Maybe we'll continue once I figure this out.
Do you think they turn, or?
I don't believe so. I think these are some kind of lock.
Yeah, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. It sure appears like it.
Hey, I'm going to my mom's for a little bit.
Okay. Love you.
Modern vehicles are about as complicated as they can get.
Let's see.
You guys in real time are seeing this as I'm being stormed by a hornet. So I apologize for that quick shake.
I really don't like having my face this close, but I can't see.
Yeah, that looks like you might have the ticket there.
Yep.
So it appears these yellow things are just a locking clip that prevents it from becoming unhinged. There we go.
It's pretty complicated.
Yeah. Guess that's the way it is when you deal with explosives. Because for anybody who does not know, airbags literally are just controlled explosives. I believe they're actually like a form of composition 4.
That.
So it appears you just open up that connector and then it actually pulls from the pins itself. So the pins actually remain in the airbag and not the harness.
It actually does have little clips. I don't necessarily see a very easy way to get to them other than to pop this.
Yeah.
It's kind of hinged.
The way
holds them in.
The way you're doing it seems to be about the only way
sure
I
there's
can
a
see
better
it.
way, but
Yeah.
pop the little hinge thing and then on either side has the little retaining clip.
There's just not a lot of space to work with right there.
Yep.
And there it is. That is the factory airbag harness, which eventually we will be fully deleting on this car. But for today, that gets the airbag out of place. We'll figure out a way to snake that back in when we go to reattach the new wheel. Oh, so I'm assuming that's for the horn.
Yeah, I believe so.
That might actually work with the aftermarket wheel.
Here's the airbag.
Alright folks, airbag down. So what we're going to do from here, and I assume it's probably what Nathan has in mind, we're going to go back to time lapse to pulling the rest of the wheel. So just kind of walk through. There's a central steering wheel nut right there.
Yep.
We have a puller tool that we will actually, right away guys, one thing I want to say is if you guys want to use any of these tools you see us using, be sure to check out our Amazon affiliate links in the description. And you can actually buy this exact tool right here using our affiliate link, along with some of the other stuff that we decided to pop on in to help you guys out with this install. Time to learn with this, guys. First thing I want to announce, Mirage owners, if you want a steering wheel adapter, first of all, you're going to lose a lot of features from what I think we just seen on the clock spring. But the part number for the hub adapter is SRK-100H. It's actually the same adapter that fits DSMs of the first generation. So if you just buy a 1G DSM hub adapter, it fits. Is that going to fit with the column plastics in place? Do you know?
It should. That's what I was getting ready to go to next here.
But it does fit the steering wheel splines, and we're also going to be using this NRG carbon fiber hub adapter that is a quick release. As he bolts that down, I will kind of show you guys the nitty gritty real quick. Let me get my life together. And here is the carbon fiber quick release. You just pull back on this sleeve and it separates the two halves. Looks like it fits.
Yeah, it actually goes back inside of it just a touch.
That's actually nice. So
And then this will all be open, so maybe have to make something to block that off.
hub adapter will actually probably cover a lot of that.
No, it won't cover any of it because it'll stick out.
The two halves of that, I believe, will separate other way. You gotta actually pull with your finger grooves like this. I don't know why that had separated, but it did. There you go. That will bolt down using this hardware. And that hardware is right here, and it actually does have an Allen wrench. I don't think we're going to need these metal rings. For anybody watching, these are horn retainer rings. And it'll also adapt wheels that are of different, like Nardi Personal uses 6x74 or 76, I believe. OMP, Sparco, NRG, Grip Royal, Sabelt, they all use 6x70, which is actually what these are meant for.
So it won't have a horn unless if we figure out what wire in here that went into that clock spring.
We're losing the horn.
Not that we couldn't figure it out to work.
It's just not worth the effort.
Right at the moment.
If you want to hold out your
Came
hand,
to
first thing is
living somewhere with an inspection, you would definitely have to
Wait
make it
a
work.
minute. Oh yeah, because the hub adapter bolts down with the steering wheel nut.
Right.
Should we bolt that down first?
Yeah,
You think?
I'll hold it down.
Hold on, I think there's another. How many is that? 3. Okay, there's all 6. These are just horn rings, which
Okay.
OMP does not on a lot of their wheels use a horn ring. I will show you guys how it's actually attached. In my opinion, it's the right way. I much prefer how OMP does things. How are we going to secure this?
I guess the ideal way would be hit it with an impact, but I'll hit that for now.
I got to make sure this is straight. That should also have a painted dot that indicates up.
It's got a little dot there.
That's pretty trick. I can dig that. Of course, just getting it started would be a pain. Well, I guess while Nathan's doing that, I will go get the steering wheel bolts and the steering wheel ready. Since
You could actually bolt the adapter to it if you wanted.
yeah, actually, I believe I will. That's a good thing. For that teaser shot, here's the OMP Trecento.
It's hot.
Oh yeah. And the horn is just held in by a couple of tabs here in the wheel. It's not an actual bolt-down horn like Grip Royal and some others use. I do prefer the look of this. Alright guys, what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to bolt the wheel to the quick release. There's a little indented dimple right here that indicates the up position. So, and this has a bunch of different bolt pattern bolt holes on it. So, I'm going to simply line it up and start the first bolt. Once you line it up and get that first bolt going, I like to start one at the top and the bottom. That way nothing shifts. And then it makes life easier to start your diagonal bolts. And I just I go in an X pattern. That way I can make sure all of them line up how I want them to, which they are. Alright, find my little Allen wrench. And my advice would be don't snug any of them up until you get all of them basically finger tight. So once you kind of feel some resistance, just move on to the next one. You guys will get to see everything that we lose from this. We don't know yet as far as functionality out, because for the Mirage owners out there, your factory clock spring does not work. So whatever it controls is what we're about to find out. Versus on older cars, like when we did my B13 Nissan and put a grip royal in it, yeah, that swap took all of like 5 minutes. There was no airbag on the car, just super simplistic stuff. Now when you guys go to torque these, I would say do almost like you do with wheels. Just kind of go in an X pattern. They don't need to be 900,000 foot-pounds or anything, just nice and snug. Just take a second, go over each of them once you've done that, just to make sure they're all as tight as you want them to be. And what you end up with is that. Got everything torqued up there.
Yep. Well, I guess.
Just snaps right into place.
Round one.
There you go. Oh,
Man,
that feels so nice.
That looks neat.
That looks so good. Takes a little bit of force.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got a safety.
Huh.
And there you guys go. That is a NRG short hub. Again, SRK 100H. OMP, part number 1976N. The hub adapter, I couldn't tell you. Just search for NRG quick release carbon fiber. And you'll get that, or the one with the finger paddles for 20 extra bucks. I didn't like the look of the paddles, so I went with that.
Maybe we make like a panel to block the plastic openings off and do something with in carbon as well. You could make that and then just kind of double-sided tape it on.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I think I'd really clean it up. It does hide a lot of it from your driver's seat, but still seeing beside it, it's kind of open.
There.
Yeah, so.
For anybody else, something else I've been thinking about with the interior of this Mirage, I'm actually going to be looking at doing flocking on these pillar panels, the piano trim. So stay tuned for that as well. We will YouTube that, but there's a steering wheel install, and I guess we're going to stop this video here, but we're not done. We're going to reconnect the battery, and you'll get to see everything we just messed up. Leather.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Well, let's rehook up this battery. Fuck, I'm down for this. Hood's already popped.
Got it.
Well, let me know, and I'll fire it up. Is the video rolling?
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, one of the big concerns, well, I have two concerns with this mod right now. That is it tight? Is it tightened down?
It's not tight, but it's making an okay connection.
Well, two concerns I have is losing my wipers or headlights and potentially losing my electric power steering. Now, if I lose EPS, I have stepped down wheel size to try to tighten up the EPS, but if I lose it, I'm still going to drive it and see how it feels. And if it's livable for me, we will be pulling the electric power steering components maybe next week. And when we do the sway bar, it might be a good time to do it. Again, this build's all about weight reduction. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, it starts. That's a good sign.
So far, what I can tell you I've lost is this. I don't think I've lost my electric steering. I have lost traction control. I've lost traction and stability. Obviously, I have an airbag light. Other than that, no, it's still got electric steering, but we have lost traction control. Again, guys, this is, and I'm not trying to joke around, this is a race car build. I was going to lose traction anyway and I'm just going to drop it in.
ABS, everything.
When I go to my Haltech system, yes, this car will have a Haltech. I was going to lose all that anyway, and who's going to race on the track with traction on? Not me. I'm a pretty advanced driver, never really needed it, so no more traction, airbag light. That's all I'm seeing. What do you say we clear this thing out and go on a drive?
Might as well.
Let's do it.
We're in action.
Oh, I feel so good in the hands. Really tightened up the steering a great deal in this car because it is 55 millimeters smaller than stock. Oh, and that leather feels so delightful.
I did have the chance to drive it up here, and yes, the
Does
weight
this
of
car
the
not
steering
make
is,
sense?
Yeah, it's. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of questioning the build itself, but actually driving it, I understand now. Not that I would question it because it's cool either way, but I can definitely understand where this thing with some handling mods is going to be one autocrossing machine.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense once you drive the car.
Right. Doing the sway bar, it definitely needs it, but
oh, it just looks so nice, and the quick disconnect just adds that extra little bit of practicality, especially when I get those belt seats in here.
Oh,
that
yeah.
are gonna, kind of change the entry and exit of the car. Man, that steering is so much heavier with
it
that
is.
smaller wheel.
It's very E90.
Yes.
If anybody knows the E90 feel, it
Yes.
is extremely similar.
And believe it or not, the feedback is there.
Yeah,
with
it
the
is.
smaller wheel. It's nuts. And again, this is on 165 all-season tires.
Yeah,
so
getting it on like a 225 or a
when this is
235.
going on my Advans and my very light RPF ones, I have a feeling this is going to be telepathic.
This thing is going to want to traction roll.
Yeah, we're going to have to get it real low to the ground. But yeah, there it is. The OMP Tricento NRG quick release and hub adapter.
Yes.
There you guys go. That's how a quick release works. Nice. I did lose my my canceling turn signals, which is to be expected. Headlights are still very much illuminating on the car, as you guys can see of the bumper up there. Fog lights still work. Wipers still work. So we'll check the intermittents, see if those are still working. Yes, they are. Intermittents still work. All the headlights work. The only thing we've lost is the horn and the traction control. And don't need traction, and a horn is nice. We'll probably get that wired in later down the road when we start doing the standalone wiring, but I'm comfortable with what I've lost because
It feels great. It really
I
does.
have gained that. Yes, that looks so nice. That makes all the sense in the world. Small compromise.
It looks right at home.
Yeah, it does. And one thing Mirage owners might ask, if you guys do want to go to a smaller wheel, does it block the gauges like smaller wheels do? I can't comment on other wheels. I know OMP drills this wheel with offset holes that actually are more towards the top. I can see all the gauges. Literally, the top rim of the steering wheel is perfectly aligned with the chrome ring of the speedometer. There's no visibility issues here at all. It's perfect. It has the perfect amount of length with the quick release. If you do buy the short hub adapter, you do need a quick release on any car usually, but especially on this, your hands would be right on the stalks. So
We found that out on the
Sentra, yes. And NRG does tell people to get the quick release. They're not just trying to sell you. They are right. And for anybody wanting to know how's the quality,
yeah.
rock solid.
We were rocking the whole car. Yeah.
If you want a good wheel, buy OMP, buy Sabelt, buy Momo, buy something along those lines. If you are going to be tracking your car, just, put the money into the products and you'll love what you get back out of it. I know I do.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Well, there we go, folks. That is it.
Enjoy.